after a oh, in air quotes, right, close fight with some ghasts, you remember kind of reorienting yourself where you are in the map, right? Where you've come to, where you've been. Remember the goblins you first encountered when you came into this area. We're talking about Trensia's lab, uh, one of Haleth's uh, more recent apprentices that have come down here. One of those goblins ran away and ran down this corridor up here through this room with a bunch of barrels in it and opened and closed this door here. So, assumedly, you'll know that there is more pathways that direction. Uh, as you entered through this room, I'll give you kind of a recap of what everything kind of looked like so you guys can make your assumptions and decisions. Obviously, going in this direction inside this room, this had a bunch of barrels sealed. The room looked fairly well kept, uh, and some of the barrels were open for, it looks like they were well used. There was a hammock laying against one of the walls, and then in a corner there in the bottom right, there was a copper plated metal door set into the southeast corner. This was the door that during the fight with the goblins and the ghasts you heard open and then close. Down in front of you, as you see uh, farther down into you now, you're not being attacked. You see there is a door 10 feet down that is closed, and then the hallway continues out to the east, which would lead you to believe possibly a secondary entrance into the area the goblins were trying to restrict your movement into. From what you know, I'll say about Haleth, not Haleth, oh, son of a bitch, the wizard's name. Hallister. I knew it was an H something. Hallister, thank you. Inspiration, because you did recap of that. Cool. What you know about Hallister, he has been able to bestow gifts, misdirect, direct, and cause issue with everybody sitting inside his dungeon. Possibly being able to get some more current information from one of his more recent apprentices might be useful. Finding the pathway down to the next level seems to be the primary goal as it is right now. Okay. As it sits right now, you believe that there is a pathway downward, looking forward to go to the third level. Does anyone remember why you were going to the third level? It's kind of more of a Sochi question, I guess, but skull for it. Okay, what was that's true, I guess. We were looking for some gates to travel through. There's a lab on the third level that may or may not have information about how to traverse these gates, where they go, and what sort of maybe dangers lie ahead. With that, the party again reeling from fighting off these undead, realizing that they could be close to their goal, could be close to a fight, could be close to vital information. What would you all like to do? Correct. Oh yeah, obviously. And Haleth wants to is in between trying to decide whether or not he wants to save his friend from a most certain death, or if he wants to leave him to again a most certain death. Whether he wants to exact that revenge himself, or if he's willing to leave it up to the gods or Hallister's apprentice, Transient. Forgot about it. I kind of just put him back here. Until the fighting was done, he's kind of like trails behind you. Haleth and Golor. Golor is probably speaking into his ear, but in his ear, when you're a sentient helmet, kind of sounds more like voices all around you because it's just reverberating inside of his head. I can only imagine that they're kind of like protecting each other. As you guys move forward, the coast becomes clear. They kind of are following. So say that. And you can see Golor's like the tip of Golor's helmet closed, kind of looking down the hallway. I'll we'll, just to be safe, we'll follow at a distance. Have you looked in that room already? Do you know where these doors lead? Well, until then, I'll so you know where we're going. Respectfully, of course. You hear kind of a mumbled, and then a hand comes and opens up the helmet. Yeah, I agree with that. We'll be here. Well, you're looking at this door right here. No, door that the goblin went through is this one. The goblin did flee this way, but this was the goblin you heard over here. This you would assume, yeah, you would assume that the door that the goblin that came behind you and attacked you with came out of this door, on this door. Correct. So yes and no. There were two goblins here in this room, or three goblins here in this room. One goblin ran this way, opening this door and going this way. The others tried to run this way. Killed one of them in here came down this way, and then through this hallway, through the wall, three ghasts came out and attacked. The goblin didn't make it past this direction, but there was another goblin that came this way from behind, a goblin hexer, attacked and it was slain here. And then we all heard this door then shut. As you all enter this room with the door, everybody make a perception check. Uh, Kaizana and Matosai, as you're walking into this room, you can see that this room is well traveled. A lot of these barrels are uh, pried open. You can see some of them have copper ore. Some of them have uh, what looks to be like mining equipment kind of in it. Some of them have almost like a weird like sandy grain. And what's interesting what's interesting about this is that there's about 12, 13 of these barrels in here, and it looks like specifically only half of them are regularly used. Like the other half of them are like pristine, not touched, covered like dust on the tops of them. Yeah, make an nature check. You can tell that this is the result of uh, rock that has been, imagine it like ash, except from rock. It's like lava rock that has been pounded down into like powder. Um, make I'll say you have advantage on this as a former druid. I want to give you something else, but not on a 12. Yeah. Um, so you'll know that of the type of stone that this was, right? You know that stone has to be heated up pretty aggressively by something in order to be molded into like an ash of some sort. So you'll know that whatever made this was of extreme aggressive heat, like much hotter than your normal like spells would normally have. Like your heat metal spell can't get to this uh, temperature. Like a fireball wouldn't cause this kind of damage. Very consistent hot heat. whoever's looking at it, if you guys are kind of like looking at the barrel, whoever's looking at it can make an Arcana check. Yeah, I can see more of this. So Kaizana and Morin, you two are the one making the check. Okay. Um, this is not done specifically by magical means. The conduit in which this material was made, Kaizana, you have seen effects like this before, but not as great done by magical means. Morin, you have only ever seen aftermath like this due to non-magical means. But both of it looks familiar. You both get a sense of it can be made either way. Yeah, make an investigation check. Um, these barrels look like they have been placed almost strategically throughout the room at equal distances from the middle. So you kind of have, some in these corners, this corner, this corner, this kind of area over here. Almost looking like they're all equidistant to the middle. The other barrels that have things filled and used are just ever so slightly disorganized and kept distanced from these other what seems intentionally placed barrels. Roll a d20. As you walk up to one of the barrels, Callista, are you in that room as well? Huh? Oh, thank you. She's getting
Sorry.
weird on my desk. Thank you.
Yep.
I'll say she's at like the precipice of the door, just because she hasn't moved herself. I'm guessing she's. As you go, Jolie, you're looking down on these. You're like almost on top of one, just watching Kaizana play with this, the top of this. Kaizana, as you put your hand on top of this barrel and go to form a fist to knock on it, as your knuckle rings true on the top of this barrel, you go for the knock the second time, and your hand passes directly through the top of this barrel as the lid kind of disappears and you see uh, another ghast fly up and out of these barrels. As as it comes up and out of this barrel, looking at you, it just kind of whispers words to you, as you can see the like almost like the words coming to life as it kind of seeps and circles all around the rest of the room. And the other pristine barrels, you can see ghasts coming out from those barrels as well. And you guys can all roll initiative. Matosai. Yeah, you say, "Ah, spirits." Okay. These are not ghasts. My apologies. These are like these are ghouls, but I mean they're undead. They're undead spirit thingies. Okay. Kick its ass. Roll another d20. Yep. See if you triple crit. Nope, that's okay. Roll damage. All right, so that's not 19. Is it supposed to be 1d10 plus 5 or? Okay. I'm just gonna make it 20. Yeah. Well, it'd be 15 is 30. Um Regardless, that fucking kills that first duel that you swing on. Okay. Fire. 21 on it. 14 damage. Good meaty hit. As you swing through on the second duel, your sword tears a chunk out of its like side and leg as you're swinging down, recoiling from the first attack, and you just take chunks off of its ribs and its hip and its thigh. That is a good idea because its counterattack is coming soon. Yep. The rest of the ghouls kind of like step out of their. Actually, they're still in their things. They one in front of Jolie. It kind of just steps right there in front of you as it kind of caught you by surprise, and it's gonna try and chomp on you. Woof. 21 is gonna hit you. And it's gonna do 7 piercing damage, plus 1 necrotic damage. And then now that it has a chomp in you, it's gonna try and smack you upside the head with its second attack. 18 to hit, and then 4 slashing damage. And then I'll need you to make a con save. DC 10, no, really easy. Easy peasy. You'll notice as its claws come ripping across you after it's bitten you, uh, you get this cold ichor feeling coming from where it's like scratching you, even though it's not really doing a lot of damage. It almost has this it's like salt in the wound kind of feeling. Uh, you felt something like this before, but it's not quite the same as you've felt. The second ghoul is going to use all of its movement to get out of its little bomb, bomb, bottle, barrel. Jesus, yeah, that one. And it's gonna try and bite you again. 15. That hit you? Dang it. Go ahead. Bad luck. Okay, so it will miss. If that was your AC, then it's the minimum it'll do is a 14, so it'll just miss. Beautiful. And it's going to try and gnaw you again because it missed you the first time. And then that's a 14, so that will not hit. Beautiful. Ghoul C directly in front of Kaizana is going to try and bite you. That's going to miss. It's going to try and bite you one more time. That one is a dirty 20. So that one's going to hit. This this will be 8 piercing damage and 6 necrotic damage. Yeah, the 1d6 is rough, dude. Coming up from behind you, Matosai, seeing that you just cut half of its body off. It's mad. It's gonna try and bite you. A 23 to hit. That's going to give you 4 piercing damage and 3 necrotic damage. So 7 damage total. It's going to kind of take a chunk out of your neck area, just where your armor doesn't quite cover, and it's just going to kind of rip and then scream, get out of its bottle or fucking barrel, dude. Why can't I say that word? Fucking genie over here. And then this guy is going to come out and move towards Kaizana. This is the last ghoul to act. He's going to try and bite Kaizana. He's going to fucking miss. He's going to roar and do it again. He's going to fucking miss again. Great. Oh, it hits you? 11? Oh, you got rid of your shield. That's crazy. Okay, yep, the second one is going to hit you. I forgot you got rid of the shield. Is 7 piercing damage and 3 necrotic damage. Oof! Callista, as you turn the corner to walk into this room with the rest of your party, you can see these ghouls emerging from these barrels, biting 2 of your friends, knocking them, bringing them down to the ground. As Morin and Ajoli are sitting there, arms raised, waiting to do something. But you have the eye of the tiger, and it's your turn. I think after nobody got healed after the last fight with the gas because we ended right at that. Okay. Ghoul E. All right, a 12 does hit. So go ahead and roll damage. 18 damage. God damn! It is dead. You take your staff and mutter some words. You can see your staff explodes into this blade of flames, charging in, cutting the ghoul that was attacking Batosai. I will let it happen, but in the future, 2 leveled spells in a turn cannot. Because you already cast a spell with flame. Yeah. But I'll let you do it because he's down. And there's still 4 of them. And you're my wife and I live. 10. And it's interesting too, Matosa, as you hear these words, as you're coming back to from being unconscious, you see this half elf with a flaming staff whispering on you, just regal as ever. Kazana, death save. Good thing you had advantage. Because he's a reborn. He's already dead, technically, so he gets advantage on death saves. Morin! It is your turn. Okay. Okay, sorry. It's Wallaby. It's true. Okay. This is your celestial revelation, you said? Necrotic Shroud? I see. Okay. So you said F, C, and A? Yeah, they're tempo squares. I'll say F. I'll say F is included. Fuck it. I'll say F and A are included. That's fine. Okay. Send it. Dirty 20 will hit. Did not even need a modifier. He's still going to hit. It's not like they have armor. It's just flesh and bone. Nice. Restoration, shed bright light. DC 15 strength save. This is cool C. Strength saving throw. Did not make it. Okay. How much did you do last time? 13. Ooh, that's on 32. They still get an attack of opportunity, but it's a disadvantage because of them. Okay. Um, I'll see if the claw hits you. Woof. Good thing it was disadvantage. Yeah. Okay. I'll do it again. Another dirty 20. Okay. Agility. Yep, you're gonna hit him for sure. That's pretty good. This is on Ghoul A, right? Okay. Nice meaty hit. Yeah, A and B are both within 5 feet because they both attack you on their turns. Okay. Sure. That'll hit. Correct. I'll let you Savage attack that if you want. Yeah, like use the higher one if you want to. See, way better. All right. Well, yeah, I'm saying. I was just throwing it out there in the ether. Okay. Go get him. Oof. You're 2d6, right? Cool. How do you do it? He was the asshole that bit you and slashed you. Huh. Just for funsies, roll a con save. You're good. Uh, Cleave you can only use once per turn. Okay. Matosai, being brought back from the brink of death one more time. Rar. Might roll ahead. I can't tell for the life of me what fucking number that is. Anyways. 7 deeps, okay. 10 does not hit. It just screams at you. Okay. That it? It's just their first attack, yeah. Ghoul B next to a Jolie is going to do the scream and go to bite him, unfortunately now, at advantage. 19 to hit for the first. 7 piercing damage, which will be reduced to 3 because you're raging. However, the 4 necrotic damage will not be reduced. Because it's bite hit, it's going to try and smack you again. Which is an 18, which is going to hit, but this is slashing damage. So 6 slashing damage reduced to 3 again, and then you'll need to make another con save. Oh, yeah. A 15 will be good. Especially when we take such long breaks, and that's partially on me too. Like it's hard to keep in the rhythm of how to play your character when we take those long breaks. So ain't no thing. The ghoul is gonna kind of walk over Kaizana, looking at you, Morin. And this ghoul is, well, I'm gonna say is gonna stand up because it's prone, right? And it's gonna look at you. And this guy was sapped, so it is going to attack you. Its first attack at disadvantage. Double 8s for a 12 is going to miss. Its second time trying to bite you. is a 19. I'm pretty sure that meets. Oof, I was going to say, I think that's too much. I thought your AC was 20. Uh, that's right, idiot. 6 piercing damage and 6 necrotic damage. Are resistant to necrotic. Hell yeah. And then Ghoul F is going to attack Matosai because you just stabbed him. He is sapped, so his disadvantage on first attack. Woof. Is a natural 1. Because it's trying to bite you, it clamps down hard on your like armor, like a leather part of your armor, and this ghoul's teeth just aren't sharp enough to bite through it, and it just doesn't have enough like stamina left to get its head unlodged. So for all intensive purposes, this ghoul is restrained on your armor right now. Callista, Miss Flameblade and all, it is your turn. So you don't need to recast it because no, only the first time. So it's a concentration spell up to 10 minutes. So now you're just gonna attack with it. You don't have to recast Flamethrower. Okay, that'll hit. 9 damage. As you're smacking it, you can see some of the char, the flesh start to char as you're slicing down. Smells rancid as all hell. What else you got? Kaizana, roll a death save. Yes, but he already has advantage on it. Yeah, okay, that's fair. Yep. 2 successes. Morin, it is your turn. I'll hit. I can make it not hit. How do you do it? Oh yeah. I just imagine his whole like cheekbone, eye socket, everything just gets imploded. His jaw comes off and just like flies over the opposite side of the room as he just falls. Yeah. Okay. Okay. As you turn, you see this other ghoul trying to release itself off of Matosai's armor as you swing down and just demolish it top down, falls to the ground. Yeah. Fucking jackhammer that bitch. Yeah. How much? All right. Jolie, it is time. One ghoul left. He's looking at you. He's been trying to bite you. Actually, he did bite you. Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, that's it. How do you do it? He had one hit point left. Yeah, he had four when you did three. Like, oof. Beautiful. The last ghoul felled. Take a look around, and you can see these barrels have been broken open. None of them are covered now, but it seems that all of the dust and usage on these barrels seem to be some sort of illusion to keep them in pristine order to maybe deter or mark them as dangerous barrels not to be used. You can hear now that the fighting has stopped. Everyone make a perception check. You all can hear this sort of like static white noise sound coming from beyond the door. Utosai and Morin, you guys recognize. Oh, it's odd because it sounds like the buzz of electricity, but deep underground that doesn't make any sense, right? There's no machinery artifacts in here. To be fair, 5 HP. Just swing on you instead. Okay. Like an investigation check. As you approach this door, that weird buzzing sound kind of increases, and you can tell that what you thought was a sound maybe originating from the room behind this door might also be coming from this door itself. What's in the flask? It's just an empty. So it's a glass flask of holy water. I'm pretty sure the picture shows it in a glass bottle. But I mean, if you're assuming that it's metal, what's your goal? We'll say you're able to find like a dagger you don't want out of the haversack. Give it a toss to the door, and you see this arc of light and sound as it hits the door and it falls to the ground. There's some smoke, that like positive charge kind of in the air. Okay. As you're casting detect magic, you look around, and as your kind of soul aura are emanating from you, passes through the door, which is non-magical, but connect with something on the inside, something large, something not not grown or born, but created out of vile, necrotic magic. You get almost like a weird magical, mechanical, necrotic sense. Think of think of like General Grievous. Like there's flesh there, but there's also mechanics in play. This is a weird feeling. I don't know if you've ever felt anything like that before. Reaching out with your detect magic. Well, I don't think you guys have encountered something like this in the campaign. So that's why I said that. Oh, okay. You have seen one of these before. You get a feeling. I couldn't remember. Ah, that's right. Yeah, it's kind of like that, but it's a little different. Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, that charge it gave off is definitely still charged. You do remember seeing a hallway this way. That may or may not lead to the same room. Okay. Okay. Inside uh, the barrels, there was iron ore. So there's you got big, or sorry, not iron, copper ore, like probably the size of your fist if you were to ball your fist in. It's unprocessed, but it's copper nonetheless. What are you trying to do? So you want to like move your thought is that the door is positively charged and that given enough things to move the charge, you'll be able to de-energize the door. Um, I like that, so I'm gonna let you do it. I'll say that for it to work, in the effort for you to be able to open the door without taking damage, the door will have to remain bridged while it's opened. So just imagine that you'll have to put like, a barrel, a barrel here. How is there no sword? Fucking sticker. This is a weapon. We'll call it. You're able to like part of the copper on like the back side of like the door hinge. You're able to get. So this will at least let you be able to open the door like that without having to get zapped. So we'll say you can open the door probably like 5 feet. So you'll have enough room for one person to be able to go through at a time. Okay. Yeah, you spend probably like 10 minutes trying to shuffle this off. You guys all see him like finagling the barrel of copper matched with the other copper, taking a long sword out of his inventory, uh, trying to connect the two. As he goes to connect the two for the first time, you can see a flash of light, and again that same kind of like arc, but this time much more intensified as now it's connected. It kind of gets to the hilt, and there's some impurities in the hilts because uh, while swords are mostly metal, right? There's still parts of it that aren't metal. As it goes through the hilt, you can see the leather and the wood of the handle starting to like grow hot. You can smell the burning wood in the air. But Morin is able to uh, release and leave it there as it's able to sit, and you can kind of see the glow in the sword eventually kind of dissipate and even out as the iron or the copper ore in that barrel starts to kind of like smolder. But you feel that your job is accomplished. You like tap on the door handle to see if it's energized, and you can feel a buzz, but it's no longer like it's not a painful buzz anymore. The bulk of the electricity has been moved out of the door. As you are you trying to open this door carefully or silently? I'll say due to the nature of this, you'll be able to do one or the other. Okay. Uh, make a make a dexterity check first. What's higher, dexterity or sleight of hand? Just straight dexterity or or is it the same? That's the same. Yep. All right. Just roll a dexterity check. Okay. You're able to grab the handle, click it open. As you start to move it forward, you can hear the the door kind of rub against the ground. The ground's not quite even on this side of the room. Uh, the door is almost like oversized for the hinge, and it's very heavy, so it's difficult for you to open it carefully while keeping it slow and smooth, right? Uh, as you are opening the door. Inside, you can see uh, copper plates all over the floor, copper tiles, uh, lightning coming in and out, beaming from kind of like a pylon to the pylon all across uh, the room, and it all kind of seems to jump into the middle of the room. As you open the door more, you can see a golem sitting in the middle that is holding on to what looks like two kind of like canes hanging out, sticking out of the ground as this electricity is moving in and out of it. And from the corner of the room, you can hear uh, almost almost the sound of what would be, I guess, a female voice, but higher pitch, more shrill, uh, almost less substance to the voice, as it seems like you know those people that have to use the little like energizers because they don't have vocal cords. Imagine that kind of sound, right? It sounds semi mechanical and electronic, uh, as you can't fully understand what it's saying, but it says something in the result. It sounds like it's talking to something, and maybe teasing it, antagonizing it. Correct. Ah, all right. Yeah. The top corner over here, it sounds like there's voices over here. It has its back against its back is to you as it's holding these two kind of pylons, for better sake, coming out of the ground. It it looks similar. Again, though, it has a lot more electricity to it. Vice Normally, flesh golems are just amalgamation Frankensteins of dead bodies held together purely with necrotic and necromancy types of magic, but this is that and something else. Given the scene kind of unfolding in front of you, being able to see all of the copper, the electricity, uh, this golem seems to have been changed fundamentally by this type of, whether it's magic or mechanics behind it. You can make an Arcana check, sure. Uh, you would know on what's that, 17? Flesh golems are not undead. Flesh golems are constructs. As you um you can see its left arm, but you can't see its right arm. Not no. It does not seem like it's controlled the same way as the previous one. His dick is a 0. I'm sorry. I can see her bike like come on and come off. Yeah, you. We're talking to you, Dingling. Wow, way to pull a bomb. Correct. They are a creature, but not an animal. Correct. In mist, briefly surrounded by silvery mist, you teleport 30 feet to an unoccupied space you can see. No, but like there is a mist, but you're seen. You're unobstructed. I need to go on a potty here soon. Shit. Yeah, if you want to. No, I just need to go to the potty. I need to pee. Yeah, keep going. I can hear you. No. That does surround you in a mist for you to be able to go, and it gives you a +10 to your stealth check. 30-foot emanation. So it's 15 feet in each direction. So the use one is because you get that as part is your Elven lineage spells. So you get a free cast for that. The cast is using a spell slot. The use is using the ability. That's why you see it listed twice with two different things. No, they're both the same. Well, let me rephrase that. You can tell one is like more ornate, like one is the master, one is the slave. You can put the master. Yeah, the flesh golem is like Kaizan attack. Fuck. should have I should have rolled for it. Damn it. Hold on. Two D4 plus 2. I heard it. I just see it. so 9 health. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna do some things now that the plan is moving forward. Okay. So everyone's gonna make a stealth check. You're gonna all add plus 10 to that stealth check. Matosai, you got a 21. Morin is a 17. Kaizana is a 27. What's that? Matosai, Morin, Kaizana, Mitchell. Still need a big cat stealth check. Okay. So, stealth check, pretty good. One of you is still going to get noticed. Sorry, big paladin boy. Because if you want to, the DC was a 19. Okay. Roll your stealth check again. It's 1d4, right? Sure, go for it. Don't roll a 1. You'll roll it. Yeah, the person giving it rolls it. Okay. So, everyone made their stealth checks. Okay. As you guys are moving one by one through this door, you'll notice on the plates starting on this side, all of the floor tiles here are covered in copper, and you can see the electricity moving from floor tile to floor tile, from pylon to pylon, all around the room. Okay, so there's a chance where you step could be electrified. Now, Kaizana, if you want to do this, there's going to be some checks that happen to it. So flesh golems are very motivated by their masters. So if you're trying to remove their masters' motivations and compel them yourselves, it's going to be a charisma check, a persuasion check. Now, if you want to break the connection to its owner, it's a DC 15. If you want to control the connection and not have it just go berserk, it's a DC 20. It's a persuasion. Okay. So you need a 9 to break its control, and you need a 14 to control it yourself. Okay. You get 1 buff. Because you already have advantage, right? Oh, okay. That's right. You still only get 1 buff. You're at +7. The likelihood that you fail this is really low. Okay. So a 15 will break concentration. Or will break the connection to it. but it will not give you control. Yep. Yeah, it did. It was a 3. Yeah, it was an 18. So you can either inspiration or keep it at an 18. If you re-roll, you do not get your d6 again. What's letting you do it? Not on the same check. I want this to be difficult. I don't want it to be easy. Yeah, the lowest roll will be the 18. So close. It was very close to its 1 a.m. Okay, so on a subsequent turn, maybe. So because there's a bunch of things happening here at once, right? So Callista, and who is gonna put the bangle on the flesh gold? Okay. Yeah, this is all assuming they can put the bangle on the flesh golem. Okay, so Callista's gonna do it. Okay, so you're gonna end up coming up to it to get to its left hand. You again walking up here. You're walking past Warren. You two. You're walking past all of these copper plates that may or may not be energized. So you have walked over 3 plates, Callista. So I want you to roll 3 d20s. Warren, same walked over 3 d20s. Matosai, you've gone over 2 d20s. That's fine. 2 d20s. I did under 5 was the DC. So if you rolled under 5, you got zapped. So Matosai and Morin, when you first stepped out of the room on this very first plate here, you both are going to get zapped. Where's my notes? Both of you are going to take 8 damage. Callista, as you walk up next to the flesh golem, going to put the bangle on its arm, the reverb from the pylon that it's holding comes out and zaps you. You will also take 8 damage. A Jolie, you have not. You have walked 3 spots, so you're going to roll 3 d20s. 8 lightning damage. Yep. Dang, that first one got all 3 of you. That's crazy. Jolie, same thing, 8 damage. As you go through and you stepped on this very first plate, it buzzed you for 8 damage. The 4 of you, as you go, actually, I'll say, because it was at the very last thing, Callista, make your sleight of hand check to put the bangle on the flesh golem, and then whatever happens is gonna. Here again, oof. I'm gonna tell you right now, bend luck is not gonna help with that. Callista, I also need you to make a con save to maintain concentration on your Pass Without Trace. A 10. So she makes it. Okay, as you go to put the bangle on the flesh golem, you're startled by the arc of electricity coming off of its hand, and you kind of recoil a little bit, doing your best to hold in your reaction, still quiet, but still standing directly next to the golem. The golem kind of turns its head, doesn't necessarily see you, but it can feel the draw from the power being redirected and stopped to its left-hand side. Out of this Pass Without a Trace, outside this emanation, you can see in the top right the dwarf that you had been looking for Haleth, Copper Stormforge, shackled with his hands above his head, now with his shirt ripped off, his pants ripped off, completely naked, on his knees, being strung up, and this what looks like a floating skull with electricity kind of buzzing out of it turns and looks in your direction. Doesn't, again, see you, but knows of your intrusion into this laboratory. The rest of this room looks basically like a wizard's laboratory, but completely entrapped with copper and lightning. And you can see all of this emanating and almost being powered by this construct in the middle of it. She turns, this flaming, or not flaming, this like lightning skull turns around, and in this robotic mechanic voice, you can just hear her say, "Hallister, you better not be fucking with me again! I swear to God I made this in your image. You better not be here to take it all away from me. Not again!" And you can see her start to kind of like move and pace down over to this side of the room over here, looking through, realizing that it can't see into the middle of the room. Comes over, says something to the goblin at the corner, and you can see the goblin kind of like readjust a little bit as kind of like a preparation, but it has no frame of reference for what it's being told to look for because they can't see it. As it sits right now, you guys are still under the mist of Pass Without Trace and unfound. If you're able to persuade the golem with it on the golem. So imagine that first roll basically nothing happened because it never got on the golem. Right? It's still in Callista's hand. Sure. Yeah. I'll see the goblin. What do you want ready? Okay. Sure. Okay. It's like a floating skull, yeah. That's fair. Yeah. You're able to snap it on. Uh, you prepared a spell. So that was your action for this turn. A Jolie Matosai. What would you like to do? Yeah, kind of like that. What would you like to do before for this turn? We're not in combat. You're still unseen. Okay. You see her kind of move back over here. Uh, again in the voice. I don't know if you have any friends, but if you have any friends here to rescue you, they should know that trifling with me is a bad idea, especially in my lab. The flesh golem kind of lifts its left hand off of the pylon that it's been doing, and it kind of moves it in front of its face. Callista, Matosai, you can see the golem is like holding its arm up in front of it and looking at this bangle that's now on it. And just like a look of confusion as it has no frame of reference for what's happening. No. Uh, next turn. Kaizana, you now can see the same. It has lifted its hand now as the bangle is on it. Absolutely can. Yeah, because the first chain of events didn't happen because Callista got shocked and wasn't able to put the bangle on. The second time now, Callista was able to put it on, and Kaizana was tried to roll for persuasion. Uh, it's fine. Yeah, real life. Okay, the rest of you. The skull has been moving back and forth and speaking kind of to the laboratory because it knows it has a feeling that something is here, but it doesn't know what it is. Kind of talking to Copper loudly, saying that if there were friends here of his trying to form some sort of rescue, that it would be foolish to do it inside her lab. So you just have Crown of Madness prepped for the Goblin. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, you can just move it to follow the skull or target the skull, or if you don't want to do that, that's fine. Makes sense. Yeah, I always get Crown of Madness and Tasha's Hideous Laughter confused. Okay, so you're unprepared. You're just kind of waiting to see. Okay. Callista, what do you want to do? Okay, sure. What's this side? Okay. Jolie. Trenzia, uh, kind of frantically moving around, realizing it cannot see anything, kind of moves into the mist here. Uh, you guys again can see her, but she can't quite see you guys. Even inside the mist, the whole area is still misty and unknown. She's trying to find her golem, because she can feel something trying to connect to it. Uh, you all can see inside when the golem was looking at the bracelet, it kind of abruptly stops and turns 180, looking back towards the doorway. Again, it can't see, but it knows something. Mhm. So imagine it was looking this way. It has now full 180 and is looking this way. Yes, both of its hands are off. The it does look like the floor is still charged. There's still electricity flowing throughout the room. But make an investigation check. Either one, doesn't matter. Seeing it turn, you can see the pylons starting to dissipate, but the floor is still energized. If given enough time with the golem not holding them, uh, your idea is sound that it would most likely de-energize the room. Kazana. I am going to tell you now the DC is higher. Okay. The DC is higher. It was 15 and 20. 15 to break control of it, 20 to gain control. But the DC is higher now because you have failed once with the bracelet on it. So it's a 17-22. Everyone else is just talking. It had moved closer on its turn, yes. You can see it, and again, you can see the skull kind of like floating and imagining if what a floating skull would do if it's like turning left to right, kind of like bobbing, trying to find something. Anything else? Trenzia moves a little closer. You can see the goblin moves closer this way, pointing to Copper, uh, and just yells, "Don't try anything stupid while we get this sorted out. The master won't be happy with you if you end up trying to escape." And again, you can see Trenzia moving around, trying to find, using its connection to the goal and trying to find the goal. And it's your turn again. Yeah, you can do that. As this fails, yes, it will go up again. So you need a 4. A 4 at minimum just to break connection. Okay. Kaizana, as you're focusing on this connection to the bangle, you're focusing your innate magic. You're using this connection to compel this creature construct thing to follow you instead of its master. As you are trying to compel, you feel its motives flip. Not the feeling you get now is a feeling of like being lost. And because it's lost, because it doesn't have a master to serve, it's frustrated and it's angry. The rest of you. Outwardly, if you're looking at it, what it was kind of like turned in. Imagine like a T pose, except its arms are to its side. It's kind of just standing there at attention, and it was looking towards Kaizana, towards the entryway. Now you can see its muscles have kind of like tightened. Its fists are solid, and you can see like some sparks of electricity starting to come from it. Something has definitely changed in this golem, and you get a kind of ominous sense from it just looking at it. Okay. Okay. Uh. Okay. Sure. Uh. Okay. You see. You all see this large black and green, right? Do you remember? Black and purple. Okay. Yeah. Large, just fucking maze as it comes out behind. Uh, fucking force. As it's a large creature. This is yeah, specifically. Uh, okay. Callista Matosai. Or go ahead. Okay. I'll say it. It'll be able to do something next turn because it just spawned into existence now. Okay. Callista, Julie. Callista. Do you want to stay right next to the golem? Well, yeah, I guess if you don't, you shouldn't because then you're kind of because I'm not going. Yeah, that's fine. Keep in mind the farther distance you move, the more dice you'll have to roll if you get that. All right, well, what do 20? uh, as you move, you can see that Trenzia has come out of the mist and has found itself to be revealed. Uh, Unknown as to what is happening, why it's happening, it senses its connection broke with the golem. And she frantically uh, goes to turn to the goblin and then notices a fucking horse in the middle of her laboratory and says, "Oh shit! How did that get here?" And then it's gonna fucking attack your horse. Do you? Oh yeah, you have this. It is very distracting. It's gonna make 2 attacks to your horse. The first attack is what level did you use? Find Steed, second level. Okay, yeah. The first one misses, and the second one just hits. Uh, and it's 11 lightning damage. As you all see this mechanical stream, and its eyes start to light this bright, brilliant blue, and out of both eyes, like a fucking Superman or Homelander eye bolt, 2 lightning blasts come out. One straight over the Hexer's head, the other strings true on the horse, as it now is very upset and is looking for some explanation as to what the fuck is happening. The flesh golem, now you see its electricity start to get almost out of control, and it is going to swing in a random direction. I'm going to roll a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to roll a d10, and however it rolls, I'll re-roll a 10. However it rolls is going to be where it attacks. So Matosai, you're the only thing it can attack, but only on a 1 on the D10 roll. It can't hit you. No, I'm going to roll. So D10, we're going to re-roll. You see it turn this direction and unload a flurry of blows as it just swings and slams down onto the ground in a fury unbridled, but does not know what to do. Okay. You're also going to hear Copper yell out and say, "Ha ha! You're going to get beat by a big horse, you dummy!" And then the goblin is going to make an attack on the horse as well. It was very surprised, so it's only going to hit it once instead of twice. Or it's going to try and hit it once, I should say. Yeah, 21 will hit it. And 11 will damage. $25. Yeah. It is still alive. Hey, you know what? It's doing its job. It is now your turn. We're kind of in initiative, but not really in initiative because no one can be specifically targeted yet. So I'm kind of just letting you guys go and then have them go. So Morin, this is the turn if you want your horse to attack. Now they can attack. It'll go on your turn. Huh? Your spell attack modifier is +6. Yeah. The way that I would read that. $19 will hit. Two. So 10 necrotic, and I need a whiz save. $14, so it just missed. So it's frightened. Okay. Of course, it's yeah, it's your turn. Okay. Sure. A spell. It could. from no, because now that you've broken its control to its master, the only way you're going to be able to regain control is with its control. What's your modifier? Charisma modifier for persuasion. Okay, so you can still gain control of the flesh golem, but you need a 24. So you need an 18 on the die. It was so close. That's crazy. How would you convince him? How do you help him? Roll a d20. Roll a d20. No. All right, Morin is good. Kaizana, you have gone. Callista, Matosai, Ojoru. Oh, yeah, I guess the horse went. Morin still has his. No, he did the thing. Or he was about to do the thing when you did the thing. So yeah, Morin continue your turn. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. The 4 is still charged, as you can tell, yes. It doesn't look like it's charged as much. So you might not take as much damage. Roll 1d20. You take 7 lightning damage. It was only 1d8 this instead of 3. Okay. Con 14 save. It's fright. Yeah, that's a, it's not percent. What did I say? Constant, right? Not. Ooh. Oh. Okay. 4, 4. 11 percentage. Speed is halved until the start of your next turn, and it can only take a bonus action or an action. This goblin is not having a good time. Okay. Matosai, Lista, Jolie. Okay. Callista, Jolie. Callista. Okay. Morin, I'm gonna have you make another stealth check now that you have done something to alert everybody. 14. All right. Uh, Flesh Golem does not. Trenzia does know that you're there. Hexer. Oops. Sorry. That's not. Trenzia, knowing where you are, kind of walks back over to Copper uh, and yells, "You shall not come into my lab unannounced!" Kind of giving herself an angle on you. And with that, she is going to cast light in your general direction. Well, it's aiming specifically at where he thinks you are. Yeah. So like so. 100 feet. It's 100 feet long, 5 feet wide. Again, it's aiming specifically at where it thinks you are. Yeah. Either way, you're gonna hit. Well, because it wants to protect. It wants to defend Copper. It wants to keep its kill, its prisoner. No, I know. Morin, Callista, Matosai, and Kaizana. Please make me a dex save. Sure. Okay. You still need to make the dex check. If you fail it, it makes you succeed it. So you don't need to. You might not need to use it. Yeah, you need to use it. Okay, that's fair. 13. So we still need Callista. I need you to make a dex save, my darling. Save. Yep. Still an effort. No, you made the saves. You're still gonna take half damage. Uh, you know what? Since you're the first person in the chain, roll a d20. And I'll say on an 18 or better, you can absorb the entire lightning bolt. Sorry, it's a good amount. It's a good amount of ones. That's fine. So Matosai and Morin, you're only going to take 11 lightning damage. Callista and Kazana, you're taking 22 lightning damage. Or yeah, you saved, I guess. Yeah, because you used the thing. So you're taking 11. Callista, you're the only one that didn't make it, I guess. So you're taking 22. But on the bright side, she can't do that. Yeah. And the flesh golem is going to do his random attack thing again because he doesn't know shit. 3 again. So he's our attack right there. No, I think I was using it to show his perception, I think, and I just lost it. And then the Goblin Hexer is gonna attack the fucking horse again, because why the fuck not? Because it attacked him, and it's frightened, so it has disadvantage on attack. 7 to hit is not gonna do it. And a 9 to hit is not gonna do it. It is never seen a horse before. And it does not know how to attack him. It's like it's trying to hit its legs, but it just lifts its legs. It's like, what the fuck? It's way bigger than me. Like, I don't know what to do. Your guys' turn again. 26. So you have to roll a natural 20 if you're a +6. Eight years. All right. Who wants to go first? It is your turn. Fuck you, disadvantage. It's like a Geodude. It's just a floaty rock. You absolutely can. Fuck that Hexer, bro. Unfortunately, that will not hit. Yeah. Okay. Can you do it again? Recharges after a long rest. Okay. The horse is gone. Has gone, like it's taken its turn. Oh. The majesty. If you were to put a full photo in there, you probably would. Because he put a full photo. Morin, what are you doing with the rest of your turn? Do it. Ah! Okay. Oi, what? Send it, dude. It's fun. A melee attack. That'll hit. Uh, it'll make the strength. It'll roll. But because it's floating, you see like as you knock it, it kind of like recoils back and floats back. It isn't really good. Let's take it again. Oof. Roll another d20. Yeah, going for the second attack after going to shield bash it, realizing that there's no you go to shield bash, and normally when you're shield bashing like a normal creature, there's a little bit of resistance there when you bash. But in this case, because it's just a floating skull, it kind of just moves with you, and there's no reaction. You kind of end up taking an extra like swing as you're moving forward. Still, kind of you didn't have anything to like put your body weight against as you were taking your second swing trying to push, and you end up kind of like on your knee in front of it. So functionally, you're prone, quote unquote, but you're not actually like on the ground. You're just kind of kneeled in front of it. Sure. And you still have movement if you really if you want to stand up. I guess it probably should. Same turn. So as soon as you pass your turn, it's a new turn, which means as a reaction on someone else's turn, you can still help your It's not once per round, it's once per turn. Shield of Fafe. Okay. Yourself a +2, putting you at 25. All right. Anything else? All right. Kaizana Matosai, Callista Agility. Let's go. Go for it. Yeah. 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 Yeah, you're good. Okay. 13 will hit. Actually, no, it won't. She's gonna shield. You're gonna what? Until the start of the next turn. Yeah, +5 your AC. So her AC, instead of being a 13, is now. Just enough. Both of your attacks, as you go to attack the first time, realizing that she is in danger, you see this magical ward pop up in front of her as your axe just glances off the side of this invisible force field, effectively. Going to slide in again, the force field seems to almost repel you for the second time. This is for frightened, right? Wisdom save 14. She has advantage on saving throws against spells and other effects, but she is also immune to the fright. Okay. Nice. No, but just yeah, just to be safe. And the goal. How much did you say? 15? Dex? Oof. Trenzy is gonna fail. Wow, he's gonna fail too. That's good. Okay, let's fail. Okay. Callista Matosai. If you cast another spell that requires concentration, you will drop concentration. If you just cast another spell normally that doesn't require concentration, you can do that and still maintain concentration. Okay, we shoot now. Trenzia. Floating skull. Okay. Not gonna happen. Cabin. Okay. Matosai. It's your turn. Okay. All right. It's their turn. Golem still has no fucking clue where the hell it is, how it is, where it is. So we're gonna just get them out of the way first. Oh, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Itself. Ooh, it does not move. Goblin Hexer, gonna smack the horse. No longer frightened, so normal attack. Pretty sure 12. I think that's exactly it, right? And then that'll probably kill that horse, right? Because it only had 4 health left. And then it's going to turn, and the closest thing to it that it can see is Matosai. So it's going to attack. 17 does not hit. And then Trenzia. Screaming, not okay, not happy. It is going to cast Blur on herself. So any attacks will have a disadvantage. And then, unless somebody is attacking that has blind sight intrusive. Um, huh. Okay, that is their turn. Indeed. Does not have shield anymore. Wants to hit it first. Okay. It would, but she's going to shield again. So her AC again is 18. Yep. Spellcasters, man. That's all they do is fucking increase their AC and then fucking shield. I should know I'm a wizard. That will hit. Oh, yeah. So she cast Blur on her turn. It is now no longer her turn because it's your turn. She can cast another spell as her action. No. Well, Blur is concentration, but Shield is not. I don't think. No, Shield is not. Hey, didn't matter. Got her. That's a good idea. All right. Is your kind of piercing damage? So the original attack was 12, and the smite was 13. As you go this time to attack with that radiant smite, what do you say? Yeah, you got it. Uh, as you hit it, the smite kind of burns as it's making impact with her. It almost seems to like uh, reduce whatever magic is holding her together as she hits the wall and uh, falls onto the ground. Okay. Mm-hmm. Uh, she's bloody. Uh, healthy for a flesh golem. Well, that's the damage you did. That's maybe not what it took. Yeah, no, I just re-edited it because I was looking at your stat blocks still. Yeah, no, no other things. It's still dead. She's still dead. She's still dead. Oh, I forgot to let her attack. Uh, yeah, leveled spell and cantrip. But it's fine. Forgot. Ain't no fine. You're going over to the Goblin Hexer. Okay. Okay. Who's next? Yeah. Uh, make a wisdom save. You see the goblin attempt to like pocket sand you, and you're just focused on it. Okay. Should be a +4 instead of a +6. Okay. So it's 10 damage. Cool. I'll hit again. Oh, 11 plus 4 is 15. How do you do it? So it's a her reaction. Her reaction is called Jinx. A creature the goblin can see when it hits with an attack roll. Uh, make a Wisdom save. The triggering creature fails and attack misses instead. It's basically like a fucking silvery barbs for an attack. The sand is just fucking glass. Pya! Stabs her face with it. That's funny. Okay. Kaizana Matosai Callista. Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. Okay. 2 will hit. Yep. Okay. So 21 total. Okay. Callista Matosai. Okay. Okay. Callista. Nice. Okay. Would you say the golem is partially obscured or fully obscured? You've done your movement. It's his turn. I'm asking. Okay, I'll let the dice decide. Which one will D10? A 1, a 2, or a 3, it will move forward out of Be Passed Without Trace, and it will be able to see copper. And if it moves that direction, it will go and attack him. Roll a 10. 6. Right there. Okay. Your turns again. Copper is yelling, "Oi! Let me out! I can help!" Okay. What are you gonna do? Stop cowards. Okay. You are too good distracting. That's not gonna hit. Level 1 Smiteroo. 10 plus 3. Okay. With that hit, you all can see, all of you looking in the flesh golem's direction, you can see now part of its stitches are starting to like break open with that hit from one. Who's next? Jolie. Good. That 17 will hit. I just saw your thing move. I couldn't hear you. I'm like, he's got it. Yep, natural 20. Roll again. Oh, roll again, baby. Hey, man, that's still triple dipples, baby. Yeah, 11. So 11 plus 4, because you're not raged, is 15. Tripled, it's 45. And for now, the second time, you have beaten how many hit points it had by 1. How do you want to do it? Just enough. Yes, it does still have the bang bowl on its left. Okay. He does the RAR, splits it in half, cuts off the arm, and I just imagine like nonchalantly picks up the arm and just like shoves it in Morin's face. Jesus fuck. It was honestly a really cool idea. Just the dice were not fucking cooperating with you, dude. That was terrible. Well, I wanted it to be difficult to get because yeah, I kind of don't want that. But like for this fight, for sure. Like you guys got it, you guys could have it. But flesh golems, yeah, yeah. It was in my head. It was gonna be because masters can basically like persuade them to fight for each other, right? So if this golem had two masters, both Trenzia and Kaizana could both be rolling each turn to continue to persuade it to fight for them, right? So ideally, if Kaizana would have got him on the first time, keeping the DCs lower, then it would have, yeah, it would have basically been playing tug of war with the golem, kind of basically like keeping it inactive almost, as it's like trying to wrestle with who it wants to serve. Do I attack? Do I not attack? Do I attack? Do I not attack? Kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah. Priority target. If you guys want to do any Healy stuff before we call it, refresh. Yeah. I just imagine that like a word of affirmation comes. Oof. Not very much. I rolled a lot of tens. Jesus. And a lot of sixes. What the fuck? I rolled three tens and three sixes that game. Yeah. The triple dipple though, dude, that was fucking sick, dude. What a way to fucking end that, man. And so it was a really good idea that you changed it from lightning because both of them, if they take lightning damage, they heal. So yeah, good idea. And I mean, it's a good thing that Golem never got to attack anybody. The fire, because the fire gave it disadvantage for that turn for its next attack. Okay, so everyone has healed, and we will call it there.